Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro of the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well folks, another Christmas has gone and 2024 is almost over. And again, I know I haven't been making my blogs as frequently as I did over the past couple years, and I'm feeling very worried because unless there's a way to save me from the COVID welder's doom spell, Season 13 might most likely be my final year blogging on Mustang Prince Orro Reports. But anyway, on a positive note, for today's blog, I'm going to share a very special animated Christmas movie from the late 2000s that I'm not sure if many of you folks out there have heard of before. And like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, this is another Christmas film that I've been wanting to talk about for several years. Released on October 20th, 2007 at the Heartland Film Festival, the movie is Christmas is Here Again. So, on for the plot of the movie. Every Christmas Eve, Santa Claus sets out with his sack of toys and delivers them to every child in the world. But when the evil Krad steals Santa's sack, he crushes the holiday spirit, and the world's children forget about Christmas. 30 years later, a young disabled orphan girl named Sophiana, upon learning about Santa's stolen sack and what it represents, sets out to find it and bring back Christmas. Along the way, she comes across companions who assist her on her journey, including a feisty elf named Paul Rocco, an ambitious young reindeer named Dart, a con artist fox named Buster, and a not-so-dangerous polar bear named Charlie. And together, they each discovered their potential for compassion, loyalty, and the importance of never losing hope. So, what do I think of this movie? Well, in my opinion, not only is this a great animated Christmas film, but it's got to be one of the most underrated ever. And I make it a tradition to watch this movie every year during the holiday season. And to further explain why I love it, let's move on to Mustang Notes. Now, believe it or not, this was the very first feature film to be produced by Renegade Animation, located in Glendale, California, which is best known for the TV series Hi-Hi Puffy Amiyumi and the Mr. Men Show. And joining Renegade in creating the film was Easy to Dream Entertainment. The film was co-written, co-produced, and directed by Robert Zappia, who previously wrote Halloween H2O and afterwards wrote 35 episodes of The Tom and Jerry Show, including Santa's Little Helpers. A small crew spent 9 months on the film's principal animation, which was completed in mid-2006. In 2009, Christmas is Here Again was nominated for the Annie Awards for Best Animated Home Entertainment Production, but it lost to Futurama, the Beast with a Billion Backs. Also, in late 2014, a stage musical adaptation of Christmas is Here Again was presented by Brad Carroll and Jeremy Mann at the Pacific Conservatory Theater located in Santa Maria, California. Now, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, to me, this style of 2D animation is pretty interesting due to it combining traditional cell and flash animation techniques together, which to me seems kind of familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it though. Anyway, while I never saw this movie during the late 2000s due to me not knowing about it at the time, it wouldn't be until sometime in the 2010s when I was browsing through YouTube, and I managed to learn about Christmas is Here Again on a certain Christmas countdown video, though I can't really remember which one since it's been so many years. Plus, I'm happy and grateful that said countdown inspired me to buy this movie on DVD. And while watching it during the holiday season, I found it to be not just underrated, but also joyful, emotional, epic and thought-provoking, and I found it pretty interesting that Santa's sack is not just a magical source of toys, but it's also made from the baby Jesus' swaddling clothes. Plus, I think the journey that Sophiana and her friends go on while trying to retrieve the sack feels pretty similar to The Wizard of Oz, due to them discovering compassion, loyalty, and the importance of never losing hope. Most of the songs in the film were written by director Robert Zappia and his late brother Marco. And to me, these songs are pretty good, with my favorites being the title song, Christmas is Here Again, Who Stole Santa's Sack, the Storyteller song, and Santa's on His Way. And now, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought them to life. Our main character, Sophiana, is voiced by Madison Davenport, best known from the Dusk Till Dawn TV series, along with Kit Kittredge in American Girl, Blue Sky's version of Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who, DreamWorks' Over the Hedge, the 2009 Jack and the Beanstalk film, and she voiced the Nameless star in the latest Kingdom Hearts games. Fun fact, Madison received an Annie Award nomination for Best Voice Acting in an animated television production, but she sadly lost to Eartha Kitt, whom was voicing Yzma in the Emperor's New School musical episode. Now, Sophiana is a little orphan girl who was crippled due to a car accident that took the lives of her biological parents, leading her to use a cane. To me, Sophiana is a really sweet little girl, and she's a character who I feel deep sympathy for due to her being bullied at the orphanage, and she makes a great cook. After she learns about Christmas and Santa Claus, Sophiana volunteers to help retrieve his sack back from Krad, which to me makes her very noble and generous, and I think she was very brave when she used her cane to destroy Krad's pet robotic bird, and when she defeats Krad by dumping all the coal from the sack to bury him and his minions under a giant mountain of coal. Also to note, I think her friend, Mr. Caterpillar, is really cute. And the part at the end of the movie where she gets adopted by Santa Claus and Victoria Claus really made me cry in happiness because of how touching and heartwarming it was. Lastly, I think Madison does an amazing job voicing Sophiana, and I think her singing voice is just so sweet, especially during her longing song, Will I Ever See? Next we come to her first traveling companion, Paul Rocco, voiced by Daniel Roebuck, whom I remember from 2002's Hansel and Gretel, the Agent Cody Banks films, and Rob Zombie's Halloween films. Paul is an elf whom was frozen in ice for 30 years after trying to stop Krad from stealing Santa Claus' sack. After Sophiana frees him with her tears and Mr. Caterpillar's help, Paul tells her the story of Christmas and Santa Claus, and he describes how his job of bringing gifts ties in to the birth of the baby Jesus. To me, while Paul was, at first, a bit reluctant about joining Sophiana to get Santa's sack back, I think he can be a bit humorous, sarcastic, and witty at times, and I find it pretty neat that he has a couple magic tricks up his sleeve. Next up we have Dart, voiced by Colin Ford, who was not only Jack in 2009's Jack and the Beanstalk with Madison Davenport, but he also got to be Jake in the first 2 seasons of Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Prince Hugo and his brother Axel in Sophia the First, and Steve Danvers in the MCU's Captain Marvel. Fun fact, Colin Ford was nominated for a Young Artist Award in 2009 for Best Performance in a Voiceover Role Young Actor, but he lost to David Gore, who voiced Scooter in Fly Me to the Moon 3D. Anyway, Dart is a young reindeer who is the grandson of Prancer. He wishes to someday join Santa's reindeer team, and in my opinion, Dart has got to be one of my favorite characters in the movie next to Sophiana. Plus, he's brave, loyal, strong, and I think his flying is absolutely incredible. Like when he saves his friends from a lava fall, and when he helps Sophiana fight Krad. At the end of the movie, Dart's dream comes true when he becomes Santa's newest leading reindeer. These are Buster and Charlie, voiced by Norm Macdonald and Brad Garrett. Buster is a greedy, selfish con artist fox, while Charlie is a gentle, big-hearted, but somewhat dim-witted polar bear. Fun fact, Buster was Norm Macdonald's first animated Christmas character he's ever voiced, before the times when he voiced Julius in The Flight Before Christmas and Captain Mogens in Klaus. Anyway, in my eyes, these two are kind of incompetent, but at least they do make okay supporting characters. However, at the same time, Buster is mostly a jerk and a double-crosser due to him screwing everybody over and selling Sophiana out. But thankfully, Buster gains a change of heart by switching Santa's sack with Krad's bag of gold. Another character to talk about is Victoria Claus, voiced by the legendary Shirley Jones, best known from Oklahoma, Carousel, The Music Man, and The Partridge Family. In my opinion, while she doesn't have a lot of screen time, I consider Victoria another memorable character for a couple reasons. Firstly, she's been visiting the orphanage for quite some time, and I like that she tells all the children that they can be whatever they want to be if they dream, while singing her Easy to Dream song. And to me, this song is very inspirational. And while she was 73 years old at the time, I think Shirley Jones still has a lovely singing voice. Also to note, I think Victoria makes a great mother figure for Sophiana and the other orphans. Finally, we come to the main villain, Krad, voiced by the late Ed Asner, marking this as his fourth role in a Christmas-themed film, after the 1977 film The Gathering, the 1999 film All of the Other Reindeer, and the 2003 film Elf. Ugh. Also, I got to talk about Asner in my blogs of The Nutcracker Suite, Happily Ever After, and Pixar's Up. Now, a long time ago, Krad once supplied Santa Claus with all the coal to give to all the naughty children, but when Santa decided to stop punishing said naughty children, Krad swore he would take his revenge. To do that, he stole Santa's magic sack right from under his nose so that there wouldn't be any more Christmas. To me, Krad has got to be the most evil Christmas character ever, next to others like Krampus and Grilla. Plus, not only does he look menacing, but his lair is cleverly hidden due to it being deep in the center of the earth, and the entrance, which is on the tallest peak of the highest mountain in the North Pole, is almost impossible to find. Thankfully, Sophiana's friend, Mr. Caterpillar, accidentally managed to find it when he was going for a huckleberry to munch on. Also, I think Krad is very manipulative, like when he recruited a bunch of naughty kids and mutated them into evil drones called selves, using them to mine coal for him, and when he tricks Buster into betraying Sophiana and the others in exchange for gold. Also, Krad has put a security alarm on Santa's sack and a lockdown system to trap anyone who tries to take it. Other members of the cast include Andy Griffith as Santa Claus, Kathy Bates as the orphanage owner, Miss Dowdy, and Jay Leno as the narrator. And now on to my final words. Overall, Christmas is Here Again has got to be one of the most underrated animated Christmas films from the 2000s. The animation is interesting, the songs range from calm, sweet, emotional, and joyful, The voice acting is terrific when it comes to performances like Madison Davenport, Shirley Jones, Ed Asner, and Colin Ford, and the story is cleverly written due to it tying Jesus Christ into the story very beautifully. However, the one thing that I didn't really like was an overweight reindeer doing a fart joke. But that flaw aside, this is a film that I highly recommend for kids and their families to watch during the holiday season. And like with Sophiana, I'm sure this movie will inspire you to find compassion, loyalty, and to never lose hope. As for my rating, I'll give it a 97% out of 100. Yeah, that should do it. And so, as another blog comes to an end, so too comes the end of Season 12 of Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Be sure to join me in 2025 for Season 13, and I hope that I can survive that before the doom spell kills me.
Only 12 months till impact.
But until then, this is Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, saying Mustang power. And have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. I hope